In trading, MFE and MAE tell you what the market is willing to give and how much pain it's actually demanding from you. And if you're not measuring those two things, then you're leaving money on the table and you're risking way more than you need to potentially. I've been trading for a very, very long time now, and I've helped thousands of traders over the years, and there's one thing that separates traders who stay stuck from traders who become consistently profitable. And it's not entries and it's not indicators, it's an understanding of how much profit the market actually offers and how much pain it actually demands. Today I'm going to show you how professional traders use MFE and MAE in backtesting to dramatically improve their results, especially in Forex trading. So imagine this. Imagine you buy something for £1,000 and at one point the price or the value goes up to £1,300 and at one point the price drops to £900 and you eventually sell it at £1,100, say. Two important things happened whilst you were in that trade. The maximum favourable excursion, or MFE, which is the most profit the trade ever made or showed you while you was in it. And in the example, the best price was £1,300, the entry was £1,000, and the MFE was therefore £300. So how much could I have made at best, even if you didn't take it? And then there's the maximum adverse excursion, which is the MAE, which is the most the trade went against you before it worked or failed. And in the example, the worst price is £900 and you entered at £1,000, so the MAE is minus £100. How much pain did you have to sit through? Most traders just backtest like this: entry, stop, target, win or loss. And that is not backtesting in trading, that is just bookkeeping. What they don't record is what happened whilst the trade was open. And that is where the edge lives. So let me explain this in the simplest possible way. You enter a trade, and whilst you're in the trade, price moves around. And at one point, it's showing the most profit it ever showed. And at another point, it's showing the most loss it ever showed. And remember what we're looking for here, the maximum favourable excursion, MFE, is the maximum unrealised profit that the trade reached whilst it was open. And the maximum adverse excursion, or the MAE, was the maximum unrealised loss that the trade reached whilst it was open. Even if you didn't take profit there. Even if you didn't take profit there, or even if you didn't get stopped there. Those two numbers tell you everything about your strategy and how it behaves. MAE tells you how much heat your winning trades actually need. How much breathing room. And MFE tells you how much profits your trade usually offers before reversing or going against you. So that means that the MAE helps you tighten stops and the MFE helps you design exits and squeeze more profit out of the trade. And this is how you reduce risk without reducing performance. So let me bring this into Forex for you in a very practical way. Let's talk Forex specifically. So this is how you measure MFE and MAE on a Forex chart. When you enter a trade, look at all the candles from the entry to the exit. The highest high during that period, or the MFE for longs, and the lowest low during that period, MAE for longs. And of course you do the opposite in reverse if you're looking for shorts. And that's it. No indicators, no opinions, just pure price action. So take a look at this spreadsheet here, right? This is where traders either become systematic or they stay very, very emotional and they end up not knowing what they're doing. So use this spreadsheet, and the minimum columns that you log per trade are the pair, the direction, short or long, the entry, the stop, the exit, the high during the trade, the low during the trade, and then from that, the spreadsheet will calculate here the risk in pips, results in pips, MAE in R, multiple, MFE in R, and R is all we really care about because R is position size neutral. And the reason that matters is because 1R equals your original risk. So if your stop is 50 pips, that's 1R. So minus 0.5R means that the trade went 25 pips against you, half of that risk, half of that R. A plus 2R means it went 100 pips in your favour. So this lets us compare all trades objectively. Now here's where it's a game changer, okay? The first professional insight is this. Ask this question. How much heat do my winning trades actually need? So if you analyze 100 trades and discover that 80 to 90% of the time or your winning trades never go beyond a minus 0.6R, but your stop's minus 1R, then your stop's too wide. You're risking more than the market requires. So what do you do next? You don't guess. You rerun the backtest with a tighter stop, adjusted position size. Same strategy, same entries, but with a lower risk. And the reason this improves expectancy in your strategy is because when you tighten stops intelligently, loss size decreases, position size increases, R multiples improve, and that is exactly how equity curves smooth out in your trading account. This is proper trading engineering. Now let's talk about exits, where most traders leak profit. Ask yourself this question: how far do my trades usually go before reversing? You might discover that the average MFE is a plus 2.4 R, but your average win is only plus 1 R. And that tells you something very important. You're giving back profit, or you're leaving money on the table. So what do you test next? Well, based on your MFE data, you test things like partial profits at realistic levels, trailing stops after structure breaks, and you can go and watch my trailing stops video. You could run stops to break even and set rules after XR. So when you understand this is really where traders cross the line from amateur to professional. You don't keep asking what's the best indicator, and you start asking yourself, what does my data say that the market constantly offers, consistently offers? And you'll find that that's when trading becomes boring, but very, very profitable. Now, I want to give you two quick warnings, things to avoid. One, don't optimize on small samples, okay? 50 to 100 trades minimum. You want a good sample size. And two, account for spreads and execution if you can, especially in Forex. It's very difficult to test spreads in backtesting unless you have a broker with fixed spreads, because then it's going to be more easy or more realistic, and your expectations will be realistic in the test if you've got a broker who offers fixed spreads. That's one of the main reasons I use Trade Nation, because you can get very, very accurate with the testing data, and that gives you confidence in your trading. But just to summarize, MFE tells you how much profit was realistically available, and MAE tells you how much pain is actually required or was actually required. And if your stops and your exits don't reflect those two facts, you're trading inefficiently. That's it. So look, I've linked the MFE and MAE backtesting spreadsheet in the description below. Go and check it out. It's got some instructions on there. Go and fill out your next 50 to 100 trades and stop guessing and start engineering your trading system. And also comment tier 1 trading if you want to follow up, where I'll show you how to really dial this in using the tier 1 trading spreadsheet, which I showed in my backtesting video, which you can also get over at tier1trading.com. Till next time, see you in the markets.